The following game is being played with History Maker Baseball Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you would like to order a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, or if you would like to check out the other products offered from Play Games, please click on the link provided in the description box below.
And welcome back to the channel as we get set for Game 4 of this best of 5-game series between the 1927 New York Yankees and the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates. Your situation is as follows. If the 1927 Yankees currently lead this series 2-1. If they win, this series is over. If the 2020 Pirates win, this series will head back to Yankee Stadium for Game 5 later on today. Your pitching matchup for this game, Game 4, is going to be a rematch from Game 1, as it'll be Joe Musgrove going at it for the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates as he finishes up his warm-up tosses, and opposing him for the 1927 Yankees will be Waite Hoyt. And we can see the lineups have exchanged at home plate already. Pat Collins is set. Joe Musgrove is set. And let's get to it from PNC Park for game number 4. 145. Is Joe Musgrove an ace or dynamic pitcher? No, he is not. Is Pat Collins a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that is going to be a minimum base result, -1 for Black Die of Flash. Joe Musgrove has double flash and no adjustment needed necessary, as it will be a no runs result of 5 blank to take care of the top half of the first inning. And again, if you were keeping track at home in the scorebook, it is a no runs result, or NRN, as they would say, 5 blank. We move on now to the bottom half of the first, and Jacob Stallings will lead things off for the 2020 Buccos. 556. And again, I do apologize for the glare. 556. Is Hoyt a star pitcher? No, he is not. Is Jacob Stallings a hero batter? No, he is not. So that is going to be a no runs result with a possibility for a solo home run. Jacob Stallings has the semi-slugger quality, one of the qualities being asked, but however, the black die is not a 6, so that is going to end up being a no runs result of 5 blank to end the first inning here at PNC Park, here for Game 4 of this series. We go now to the bottom half of the top half of the second, I should say, and Cedric Durst will lead things off for the 1927 Yankees. Oh, and it's a triple sixes. Oh no. Okay. So we're gonna roll the blue die. Oops, I dropped it. There we go. We will roll the blue die. So it's in turn, it's gonna end up being a no runs result of 6 blank to end the second inning. But let's see who is hurt. 2. So it's Durst. So we are going to replace our DH with Ben Pascal. So Cedric Durst is injured, and to the 2 is replace current batter with reserve player, end of inning, and it's a no runs result. So it's either way going to be a no runs result of 6 blank. Cedric Durst is out of the lineup for quite some time. and Ben Pascal will take over and bat in Cedric's spot in the current 1927 Yankees lineup. So again, that is a 6 blank on the no runs result, and Cedric Durst is injured for X amount of games. And with that, I'm going to roll the blue die. We'll say dot. It's a minor injury, and it's not. So it's probably going to be something major. So this game plus 2d6, we have 7. So this game plus 7 more, which will be 8. 8 games for Cedric Durst, and he will be not used for the next 8 games. And we will check back with him to see if he is healthy enough to go in a future series. So he will miss the next probably 3 series, according to the manager. We go to the bottom half of the second, and Wade Hoy will face off against Adam Frazier. 226 is Hoyt an ace pitcher. He is a semi-ace. The decider die says he is an ace. So that is going to be a no runs result of 2 blank to end the second inning here at PNC Park. We go to the top half of the third, and Joe Musgrove is going to be facing off against Earl Combs to get things started. 4-5-6 is the pitcher not fresh. And for those of you that are just joining us for the first time, the way that I work freshness is as follows. For both sides, it's 3 full fresh and 3 semi-fresh innings. So the first 3 innings, consider the first 3 innings as fresh, and innings 4 through 6 as semi-fresh. If a starter is pitching a shutout, he will retain semi-freshness until he gives up a run. So with that being said, Joe Musgrove is fresh. Is Earl Combs a hero batter? He is a hero batter, so that is going to be a min on base result with a base running adjustment and no adjustment needed as the bases are loaded. And it looks like that Earl Combs is going to be collecting 3 hits off of my homebrew optional min on base narrative chart. And the way that I do that is I roll one of the 3 dice, and I chose to roll the red one here in my hand. And a 1 or a 6 is going to be constituted as a home run, a solo home run. A 2 or a 5 is a single, a 3 is a triple, and 4 is a double. And Earl Combs gets to collect 3 hits. So a 5 is a single, that's his first hit. A 4 is a double, that's his second hit. And for the third hit, it's a 5 with yet another single. And the bases are loaded up for Mark Koenig to bat off of the min on base chart. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 45. Fresh pitcher gets the ground out. And since we're still in the fresh innings, Joe Musgrove is fresh. So that is going to be it for the third inning here at PNC Park for the 1927 Yankees. And we go to the bottom half of the third with your score, as you can see on screen, a big, fat goose egg. We now go to Ke'Bryan Hayes for his turn up at the dish against Wade Hoyt. 2-3-4 is pitcher not fresh. Well, again, we're still in the first 3 innings, so he is still fresh. Is Ke'Bryan Hayes a sad sack batter? No, he is not. So that is going to be a min on base result, -1 for black die of control. So Wade Hoyt does have control. So that is going to be reducing the black die 3 that you see on screen to a black die 2. And we will put Ke'Bryan Hayes on at second with a 2 and a 4. That's going to be a walk and a stolen base for Key Brian Hayes off of my homebrew optional minimum base narrative chart. And that's going to bring up Colin Moran, the designated hitter, to bat for the Pittsburgh Pirates to see if they can give his team the lead. Again, reading the black and blue dice is such of a 34. Slugger hits double. Colin Moran is not a slugger, so that is going to be a single and an RBI for Colin Moran, and the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates lead this game by a score of 1-0, and that's going to be it for the third inning. And as we head to the fourth inning, and again, I just want to remind every one of you that if you are not subscribed yet, and if you like the content that you see, please do consider subscribing, as I will be posting here on my channel with some great, and I mean great content with my game results from Play Games. We head to the fourth, and Babe Ruth will lead things off. 266. And again, I do apologize for the glare. That is a 6. 266. Is Musgrove a star pitcher? No. Is Babe Ruth a champion batter? He is a semi-champion. However, the decider die says he is a champion. So that is going to be a minimum base result with a base running adjustment. And it looks like no adjustment will be needed as the bases are loaded full of Yankees. And it looks like that Babe is, we're going to need to re-roll the dice. The decider die here to determine the number to the result, to determine the number of the result. Yeah, to determine the result of Babe Ruth's at bat. Try saying that 3 times fast if you ask me. And it will be multiple runners on base. We will go with the 2, the blue die 2. And again, even though it says blue die on my homebrew optional minimum base narrative chart, you could use whatever you want. You could use whatever die that you want. So in this case, I'm going to read the blue die 2, which is going to be a walk in his first appearance and back-to-back singles in his next 2 appearances. Here is Lou Gehrig. Roll off of the minimum base chart. Again, reading the black and blue dice is such of a 46. Same a reliever gets the strikeout. And again, when they mean by same, it's lefty versus lefty, righty versus righty. And we do not have that, so it's going to be a contact result of a 4. Is Lou Gehrig either a champion or hero batter? He is a champion batter, so that is going to be an RBI result. And the game is tied up at 1 apiece. And we're going to roll the decide. No, we're going to keep the decider die because it was not used for this turn. So it's going to end up being a hit, and a 4 is going to be, or actually, we'll have it be and since it's 1 run, we'll give it either a sac fly or an RBI. Sac fly or a single. We'll roll the decider die again. It's a single. And it will be a RBI single for Lou Gehrig. And again, you can do whatever is necessary to have it make sense on the number of RBIs that were recorded for that turn. So in this case here, we end the top half of the fourth and head to the bottom half of the inning with the score tied up at 1 apiece here in Game 4. Josh Bell will lead things off against Waite Hoyt. We have a 4-4-5. Is Waite Hoyt a workman pitcher? No. Is Josh Bell a hero batter? No. That's going to be a no-runs result of 5 blank to end the 4th inning here at PNC Park. And your score remains tied up at 1 all as we head to the 5th inning here at PNC Park. Here's Bob Musial. 1, 2, 3. Is Musgrove a workman or struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Bob Musel a champion batter? He is a semi-champion. However, the decider die says he is not a champion. So that is going to end up being a no runs result of 3 dots to end the top half of the fifth, with your score remaining of 1-1 as we head to the bottom half of the fifth inning. Brian Reynolds will lead things off for the 2020 Pirates here in the bottom half of the fifth. 145 is Hoyt, an ace or dynamic pitcher. He is a semi-ace. However, the decider die says he is not an ace. So it's going to be a sad sack check on Brian Reynolds, as he is a semi-sad sack. The decider die says he is not. So that is going to be a minimum base result, -1 for the black die of Flash. And Wade Hoyt does not have Flash. So that is going to put the runner on at first with a 1 and a 5. It's going to be a leadoff walk for Brian Reynolds off of my homebrew optional minimum base narrative chart. He battled and battled and battled, and he got the walk that he needed. Here's Jose Ozuna. Reading the black and blue dice as such of a 14. Scrapper hits single. Unfortunately, Jose Ozuna is not a scrapper, so that is going to be a double and an RBI. And the Pittsburgh Pirates of 2020 take the 2-1 lead off of Jose Ozuna's RBI double. And that will now prompt a mound visit by the 1927 Yankees. And let's see if that pen is active for the 1927 Yankees out in deep left center. They are. Is Hoyt going to be removed from the game? He will be. So with that being said, we will take a quick timeout as the 1927 Yankees make a quick pitching change, and we will take a quick timeout. Wilcie Moore will be the new pitcher here for the 1927 Yankees, and we will give him the flash quality for this at bat against Eric Gonzalez off of the main chart. 366. Is Moore a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Eric Gonzalez a utility batter? He is a semi-utility. The decider die says he is the utility, so that is going to be a no runs result, and it will be officially an out made by the we're going to have to re-roll by the first baseman. So we'll say it's a pop out to the first baseman. And that's going to do it for the the bottom half of the fifth, with your score of 2-1 in favor of the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates as they look to force Game 5 back at Yankee Stadium here in this series. Let's now, before we begin the top half of the sixth, let's see if that pen is active for the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates. They're not. They're putting faith in Joe Musgrove to get through this next inning of work here for the 2020 Pirates. 135. Is Musgrove an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Tony Lazzeri a champion batter? He is a semi-champion. However, the decider die says he is not. So that is going to be a no runs result of 1 dot to end the top half of the sixth, to keep the score right where it's at of 2-1 as we head to the bottom half of the sixth. And Cole Tucker will be the batter against Wilcie Moore, bullpen hero, who is fresh. 456. Is the pitcher not fresh? Well, again, he is the bullpen hero. We will skip that. Is Cole Tucker, a champion batter. He is not a champion, so that is going to be a no runs result with the possibility for a solo home run, and no home run king or slugger qualities are printed on Cole Tucker's card. So that is going to be a no runs result of 5 to end the 6th inning here at PNC Park with your score of 2-1 in favor of the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates. We go to the top half of the 7th, and Joe Musgrove is back out there to see if he can get through the 7th. And this will probably be his last inning of work. And Joe Duggan will be the leadoff batter. 156. Is Musgrove an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Joe Duggan a sad sack batter? He is not. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for Black Die of Flash. And, oh, excuse me. 156. Yes, -1 for Black Die if Flash. So that is going to end up being, yes, Joe Musgrove has double Flash. So this Black Die 6 that you see on screen will be reduced to a Black Die 4. And they will put the runners at the corners with a decider die not used. Let me double check. Ace, no. Sunset, no. Yes, decider die was not used. So it'll be a multiple runners on base check. And we'll refer to the blue die again, as it will be a walk and a stolen base in his first appearance and a single in the other appearance. And now it's going to bring up Pat Collins, but first the catcher goes out to the mound while the manager tells his catcher, hey, delay some time while we figure this thing out. The bullpen is active for the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates. They are. Are they going to keep Musgrove in this game to face Pat Collins? They are. So they're going to get somebody warmed up, and Joe Musgrove will face Pat Collins here in the top half of the 7th on the men on base chart. Black and blue dice is such of a 23. Eager grounds out. Pat Collins is not an eager batter, and that's going to load up the bases for the 1927 Yankees. And now, if you're the 2020 Pirates manager, what do you do? What do you do with Ben Pascal coming up to the plate to replace Cedric Durst, the designated hitter for this game? What does the manager do? Let's have the decider die decide. Musgrove stays in this game. And he will not. So the 2020 manager, the 2020 Pirates manager pops out of the dugout and points to the bullpen and said, hey, you're good. Let's have the bullpen take care of this. And now, while the Pirates take a pitching change, we will take a quick timeout. It will be Jeff Hartlieb going for the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates, and he will be facing Ben Pascal off of the men on base chart. Or excuse me, not the men on base chart, the main chart. 156. Is Hartlieb an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Ben Pascal a sad sack batter? No, he is not. And that is going to force home 3 runs. And the 1927 Yankees come from behind to take a 4-2 lead, and the Pittsburgh Pirates manager knew that he effed up big, big, big time. Holy cow. So Ben Pascal gets a men on base result, -1 for the Black Die of Flash. Jeff Hartlieb, even though Jeff Hartlieb does have Flash, he prevents a bases loaded situation, and we put out there a new men on base situation, as it will be a men on second and third, with the decider die showing up And it will be 2 hits for Ben Pascal to collect off of my homebrew optional minimum base narrative chart. A 5 is going to be a single. Sorry. So a 5 is a single, and another 5 is going to be yet another single. So 2 singles picked up by Ben Pascal here in this game, and that's going to bring up Earl Combs. And the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates manager has done it now. He has done it now. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 35. Control pitcher gets the ground out. Unfortunately for Jeff Hartlieb, he is not a control pitcher. That is going to load up the bases again for Mark Koenig. And we now roll off of the minimum base chart for Mark Koenig's at bat. 25. Iron fielder commits the error. Jacob Stallings is not an he is not an iron fielder. That'll be a ground out to prevent further damage. And that is how the top half of the 7th will end, as the 1927 Yankees come from behind, down 2-1, they take a 4-2 lead as we head into the stretch here at PNC Park. And Will Seymour is happy enough to call this a save situation in his own right. But even though he entered into the game with the down by 1, Joe Musgrove and Wade Hoyt will not be getting any decisions in this game. So your pitchers of record are these 2 pitchers that you see: Jeff Hartlieb for the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates and Will Seymour for the 1927 Yankees. Let's head to the bottom half of the 7th, and Jacob Stallings will be not Jacob Stallings. It's going to be the next batter in the lineup, Adam Frazier, since Jacob Stallings was used for the fielder check. And your real batter is Adam Frazier. He has a 2-2-3 role. Is Moore an ace pitcher? Yes, he is. That is going to end up being a no-runs result of 2 dots, and that's going to end the 7th inning here at PNC Park, here for Game 4 of this series. Your score heading to the 8th is 4-2 in favor of the 1927 New York Yankees. Or excuse me, the top half of the 8th is the score 4-2 in favor of the 1927 Yankees. Babe Ruth will lead things off against Jeff Hartley. 1-2-5. Is the pitcher not fresh? Well, he is the bullpen hero, so he is considered as fresh. Is Babe a champion batter? He is a semi-champion. However, the decider die says he is not. That is going to be a no-runs result of 5 blank to end the top half of the 8th. And unfortunate for the Pittsburgh Pirates, they have one more chance after this inning to hopefully mount some sort of a comeback to force Game 5 in this series. Can they do it? We head to the bottom half of the 8th as Will Seymour faces off against Key Brian Hayes. 2-3-3. Is Will Seymour an ace pitcher? He is an ace pitcher. It's going to be a no-runs result of 3 blank to end the 8th inning here at PNC Park. And unfortunately, folks, the 1927 Yankees are looking to add their 8th series win in this project, winning 8 of the first 13 series here in this project, as we head to the top half of the 9th, and Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse, will lead things off. 145, and again, I do apologize for the glare. 145 is Hartlieb an ace or dynamic pitcher? No. Is Lou Gehrig a sad sack batter? No, sir, he is not. So that is going to be a minimum base result, -1 from Black Die if Flash. Jeff Hartlieb does have Flash, so that is going to put the runners at the corners, and it will be the decider die was not used, so it'll be multiple runners on base. So we'll look at the red die 4 this time, and it will be a hit by pitch in his first appearance and a single, a runner's advance 2 bases single in his second appearance. And here's Bob Musial, the bat off of the men on base chart. Reading the black and blue dice is such of a 44. Wild pitcher allows the walk. Jeff Hartlieb is wild, so that is going to load up the bases, and out comes the pitching coach to talk with his bullpen hero, sort of bullpen hero, Jeff Hartlieb, as they discuss what they want to do for Tony Lazzeri. And while the pitching coach is telling Jeff Hartlieb, you got to wonder if he's saying, hey, we're down by 2. You can get us out of this inning by getting Tony Lazzeri out. If you give up a grand slam here, there's no way of a chance in heck we are going to come back in this game. So Jeff Hartlieb says, yeah, I'll try. And says, no, don't try, do it, says the pitching coach. As he walks away, and Tony Lazzeri stares him down as we roll off of the men on base chart. Black and blue dice is such of a 24. Goldfielder makes the out. Colin Moran is, he is the designated hitter. Even though he is the designated hitter, we are not going to, Colin Moran is, since he's the designated hitter, we're going to say, we're going to have a D10 roll, and we're going to determine the position that we'll read the Goldfielder result here. The shortstop is going to be, I believe it is Eric Gonzalez. Yes, Eric Gonzalez is he is a neutral fielder, so no, so it'll be an error and an RBI for Tony Lazzeri, E6 and an RBI, since Colin Moran is the designated hitter. Even though he has semi-gold, he is not in the field since he is the designated hitter. And that's how I would technically play it. So you've seen a new house rule for DH hitters. So Moran will stay up on top, and Joe Duggan will be the next batter. 16, good eye rolls again. No, he does not have good eyes, says Joe Duggan. So it's going to be a strikeout, and we go to the bottom half of the ninth with the score of 5-2 in favor of the 1927 New York Yankees. Colin Moran will be the batter here in the inning. And he has the dire task of extending this game right here, right now. 135. Is Wilcie Moore an ace pitcher? He is an ace, and that is going to be a no-runs result of 5. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the 1927 Yankees win their 8th series of this 1927 Yankees Gauntlet Challenge, and have now won 8 of the last 13 series here in this project. Your winner is We'll See More. Your loser is Jeff Hartlieb. And for now, we are going to sign off here from PNC Park, and we will see you tomorrow for series number 14 when we play the 2017 San Diego Padres. So until then, your final score here for Game 4, the 1927 Yankees down 2-1, come back to win the game 5-2 over the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates to win series number 13.